What's up, guys? This video is for all of you who want to get into the education industry. You want to make a difference and you're pretty confused on exactly what you should help people with, and you might even be a little worried that you'd be stuck doing one thing forever. And so I want to share what I've learned from Brendon Burchard about rolling out your suite of products and services. And I think this is really going to help some of you guys, because not only will you learn that, the pressure is not on you to make this decision. The decision doesn't really come from you as much as it comes from your ideal client and the people that you want to serve. And also, you will learn that it is very good for you and good for your client, and for you to continue to create new products and services that you can sell to them and help them hit higher and higher levels. So I learned about this from a blog post combined with a video from Brendon. I'll put the link to the video in the notes. You guys should really watch it. Brendon's presenting at the Genius Network. It's by Joe Polish, and he's talking about how he, got to 50 million and 50 million views and $50 million or something. Anyways, he's talking about how it came down to having what is called an integrated product suite. And so think about Apple computers, right? Apple has the watch, they have the computer, they have the phone, they have the AirPods, they have desktop and laptop computers. And so it's a bunch of different products, and they're similar. They work together. They all work together. They communicate with one another, and they're aimed at a similar type of person. Like, I'm an example of who they'd be aimed at. I have all of the products that they make. And so in that same way, that is how your products will end up. You're going to end up with a bunch of different products that are different, but they're similar, and they're aimed at a person with a certain set of ambition, right? So think about Brendon, when he gave this speech, he said the first thing that a lot of people were asking me for once I got into he said he got good at personal development, and everyone started saying, well, how do you become an expert? How do you become this guy who's a speaker and an author and all this stuff? So Brendon created this huge brand called Experts Academy to help his ideal client with that aspiration. And so then he said, what do they need now? And he moves a little further down the path, and he says, well, they're all asking me now about how to speak. They say they can't speak on stage, they can't speak on videos. That's like a big snag they're running into when it comes to being an expert. And so then he created another brand called World's Greatest Speaker Training and helped them with that. And each brand that he created has a low ticket, medium, and a high ticket product. So for Experts Academy, he wrote a book called Millionaire Messenger, an online course called Experts Academy, and a live seminar by the same name. And so basically someone comes in his world and they don't really know much, and then the book is like the perfect entryway, starting point. It's $10, you read that. I remember reading that, my mind was blown. What do you think I did next? I got his course, and then I went to the live event, right? And so with each brand, you have something that ascends them, and it's not just so you can ascend them up the value ladder and make more money. It's because you're capturing people at different levels of competency or different levels of understanding. I remember when I first got into real estate, it was because of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I was working at the grocery store. I had went to college and got the corporate job and hated it, and I quit. And I'm just like at a grocery store trying to figure out my life, and I get Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That book blew my mind, and it made me realize I have to create some passive income or I'll never be free of having to earn money for a living. That book cost me $10-15. If Kiyosaki had only had a $10,000 program, I wouldn't have joined because I wasn't ready. But I ended up, being able to make what he taught work for me. And had he not had that low ticket thing, he would have not had something that was a good fit for me at the time when I'm making $9 an hour, driving an old car, barely scraping by, trying to figure out my life. So when you think about products, you're thinking about your customer's aspiration first. What do they want? And then what is their current competency? Like what's their current level of understanding? I signed up for a real estate program one time, and the guy was a master's seller financing. He was like, Brian, I need you to go through my online course first before we work together. I said, why? He said, because if you hop on a call and I'm talking about the way we structure deals, it's going to sound like I'm speaking Chinese. You need to learn to speak the language, and then we will get into doing deals. And so I had to go through his course to really understand what all the lingo was. And just like the same reason in school, you have the textbook to like teach you the fundamentals, and you go to the class and you do Q&A to plug the gaps. So when you're thinking about your products, the aspirations of your customer determine the different brands you create. And by the way, this is all just an option. Some of you might be like, I don't want to create a bunch of products and stuff. That's fine. I'm not saying, I kind of started out by like saying this is the way to do it. It's not, there's no the way, but this way really resonates with me, and it is what I am doing. And so I wanted to share this, the thinking behind what gets rolled out. Back to what I was talking about. So like aspirations, what's the first thing they want? And then what are the different competency stages? So you can have something that's cheap or free, a little more expensive and in-depth, and then the most expensive back-end thing. And then after they get that, what's the next thing they're going to want? And then what will you create for that? Like the brand I have now is to help people get into the coaching business, right? And I'm working on my book and course for that. By the way, there's going to be a plug at the end of this episode for the course. We're doing a live launch of it on May 20th this month. So definitely listen to that part because it's an insanely good deal. But I'm doing a book and a course. And then I have my back end, which is what I'm already have been doing for a long time, which is working with people one-on-one. And that's the suite of products that I'm building right now. But then I already know what to do after that, because it's really just what do my clients need the most. I can teach them the intricacies of building an online course because I built multiple and sold multiple of those. I could teach them how to write, or how to create content and repurpose it, or how to market and sell, or maybe just how to design their lifestyle, have more energy, personal development. But it's going to come from them, not me. So once I'm done with this suite of products, the book and the course and the coaching I already have to help people get into the coaching/education industry, I'm just going to talk to 50 people or more and say, what do you now that you're in the business and now that you're having success, where do you want to go from here? What's like the one thing you wish you had the most that you don't? Or what's the one problem you wish you could solve? And the answers to those questions will inform the next brand, and so on and so on. And then when I have all those up and running, when someone comes to my world, they can see the journey that they're going to go on. Wow, this person helped me break into the education space, and then helped me with the course part, and then helped me with the marketing, and then helped me with the mindset or whatever. And, I'm getting all this from Brendon. He said, your customers need to see that they really are going to go to the next level with you. If they don't see that, you're just going to become a commodity, and they're just going to look at your program and price it against somebody else's and be like, what do I get? What's the cheapest way I can get this outcome? And you don't want to be a commodity. And this is the way to avoid that. It's also the way to scale to the upper levels in the education space and to serve people at greater and greater levels, so that when you get a customer, you have a path for them to keep ascending. It requires that you continue to grow personally, right? You got to be really good at all the things that you're creating for people. I mean, I'm not going to do anything unless I know it's going to be at the best or be competing with the best of the other things that are out there. And so you have to keep learning and growing and pushing and hitting new levels. You have to be committed to personal growth in the first place. And if you're not, I don't think you'd be listening to this. But that's how you think about the strategy. Who is your customer? Are you clear on that person? What is the first aspiration they have, and how can I create 3 entry points to help them achieve that aspiration based upon their different competency levels? Some people just need a book, some people are ready for a course, and some people are ready to hop right in bed with you, one-on-one or group coaching. Boom. Once they've gotten to the end of that, what's the next aspiration they have? Right? I've been through so many people's programs, and I still have tons of aspirations. Like, that doesn't end. And so I remember Russell Brunson said, people never stop buying from you unless you offend them or you stop making them offers. Right? So I don't think you're going to offend too many people. But the mistake people make is they stop offering people things. And so you need to, and if you develop a suite of products and services like books and courses, the last thing I'll say is that those are replicable. Getting back to the Apple example, the reason why Apple is so successful is not just because Steve Jobs is a genius, but it's because they have a product, a physical product, in which they can manufacture and ship to people all over the world, millions and millions and millions of this product. And so you want to think about the things that you create in that way. What is replicable? Online courses and books are really the best 2 things that come to my mind. There's plenty of other things, I'm sure, but those, my real estate book that I wrote years ago is still selling 15 or 20 copies every month on Amazon. I'm not promoting it at all. And people are DMing me saying, this is awesome, thanks for writing it. And so people are out there learning from me while I'm sleeping or while I'm on vacation in the form of words that I put together into a product, into a book. I know this probably is getting a bit oversimple, but I just hope that you're not missing the point of how powerful that is. And the more of those things you can have up and running, the more you can make a difference in the world, also while doing less work, because those things will do the heavy lifting for you. It takes a lot of effort to set it up in the beginning. It was a lot of effort for me to write and publish that book, but it's over. I don't ever have to do a single thing anymore, and I get checks from Amazon, and it helps people. So I hope this episode has been helpful for you guys when it comes to envisioning the path that you're going to take as an expert. And that's all I got for you guys. Before we leave, I am going to shift over and I'm going to do a quick plug for a program we have launching on May 20th. And so let's go over to that. Do you want to start your coaching business, but you're unsure on how to pick your niche, how to define who your ideal client is, or decide exactly what you're going to help them with? Or maybe you just have no idea how to build your program, how to create an online course, whether you should do one-on-one or group coaching or sell a course or write a book. And then how do you market your products? What's the best platform with all the social media mess that's going on out there? If you're confused by all that, but you have a message or a mission on your heart and you want to share what's in your head with other people, and you want to help other people, you want to do meaningful work and make an impact on the world, and you want to learn how to do it smart so that you can make money and quickly get into the six-figure range as a coach, then I've got good news for you, because I'm launching a program that we go live on May 20th. So it's coming up this month. And what I'm doing is I'm essentially teaching you the coaching business blueprint, how I built my coaching business that does six figures, and where I, probably work 25 hours a week. And I really enjoy what I do. I love the content creation. I love the delivery platform. I'm putting all that in an online course to sell. And what this is actually me shooting the course live. I'm going to deliver the course live to you in a group setting and then do Q&A afterwards. So honestly, it's the same thing as these programs that are charging you $5,000 to $10,000 in order to, get a course and get access to Q&A calls. And it's 6 weeks long. And I'm almost embarrassed to say how cheap I'm doing this for, but it is only $497 to be a part of this for 6 weeks. You got access to me via email for any questions you have. And I'm going to dive deep with you guys and pull back the curtain and show you what you learn inside of these high ticket programs. You really don't need to spend that much money, and it doesn't need to take that much time either. Also, a lot of people get kind of lost in the mix in those programs. They end up picking the wrong offer. They don't know how to market it and sell it, or they teach them something like a lot of people will teach you to do cold DMs, which is the fastest way to make money, but it sucks. At least a lot of people that I've talked to, including myself, hate it. So I'm going to show you a better way. I'm going to help you find the answers inside of yourself as to what's going to work best for you, and have a really unique special process that I'm going to take you through to help you get that outcome inside of this 6-week program. It's called the Coaching Business Blueprint. And if you want to find out all the details, see more about it, and possibly join, then go to brianelwood.net/coach. That's brianelwood.net/coach. I'll put that down in the description and or the notes. And this will go live May 20th. So there's maybe a couple weeks or so left to join, at least right now. I don't know when you're listening to this, but I really encourage you guys to go to the website, brianelwood.net/coach, and click this, because this is essentially the same thing as what you might pay $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 for. I've been through all those programs. I've figured out the business model, but I figured out what those programs are lacking too, which really is essentially not taking into account you as an individual, right? And just putting you through this machine that just says, who's your customer? All right, what's your offer? And then you end up building a business around what you think you should do. Maybe you don't even want to coach in that particular niche anymore, or maybe you're building an offer that you're not confident in selling and you're not sure if you can deliver on, and then you're marketing it and selling in a way that feels slimy to you and forced. So what I've learned is that the answer to what's going to be the ideal business for you is unique to you. And I have a process for identifying what that is going to be. The reason why programs and things don't work or haven't worked for you in the past is you're essentially trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Okay? And what we're doing in this program is defining what you specifically want to do and making that a reality. Simple as that. So, brianelwood.net/coach. Check out the details there. And I hope to see you in the program. If you do sign up, you are not going to regret this. I've already shared this with a handful of select people, and they're extremely excited for us to begin. So, hope to see some of you in our program starting on May 20th. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Peace.